And welcome everybody to another Take 5 here on the 5 Reasons Sports Network. I am Louis Sung. If you want to go ahead and get onto prizepicks.com, use that promo code 5, that's FIVE, and they will match up to $100 on your initial deposit when you sign up. They are a proud sponsor of the 5 Reasons Sports Network. For those of you who are inside South Florida, stand by. They're working on making sure that you get something to play with. All right, so let's talk about the Miami Dolphins AFC East situation right now. As the recent news of Stefon Diggs being traded to the Houston Texans would tell, the Buffalo Bills are going to be in the market for a wide receiver. I'm pretty sure that at this point they have no choice but to focus on that position in the draft unless they can somehow convince somebody like an Odell Beckham Jr. or a Michael Thomas or a Tyler Boyd to come in on a very cheap deal, because right now the Buffalo Bills, as a result of this, are now $31 million in dead cap. That's a lot of money that they have squirreled away for somebody who is not even going to be on the football team. So right now, Buffalo is not really in a position to give big money to a free agent wide receiver like OBJ. I am sure, though, that the fact that they are in the market now, free agent wide receivers have something to think about. Do they want to come to Miami and play with Tua and Mike McDaniel, or do they want to go and try the opportunity to play with Josh Allen? And either team at this point, they are primed for a playoff run. This is where things get very interesting now. If you asked me right off the top of my head, who is the most dangerous AFC East rival for Miami right now, I would have to say the New York Jets, only because they have some good weapons with Garrett Wilson. They have Aaron Rodgers, obviously, coming off of his injury. If he's healthy, he's still a dangerous threat. But Buffalo Bills, without Stefon Diggs, Josh Allen was not exactly that great of a quarterback. I am not expecting a massive regression. He still did a lot of his own work to make sure that he himself was improved. However, there's going to be a distinct drop-off, I think, unless they can find somebody to replace Stefon Diggs' role in that offense. I am sure they're going to be expecting a lot now from Dawson Knox and Dalton Kincaid. For those of you who are fantasy sports people, make sure that you pick the over on Dalton Kincaid all the doggone time at this point, because he's going to be the one weapon that they have that they can rely on at this moment. Not to disrespect Mac Hollins or anything, but Mac Hollins is not a top-tier wide receiver. I'm sorry, he's not. Now, is the AFC East wide open for Miami? Yes, absolutely, it is. Miami still has Tua. They still have Tyreek Hill. They still have Jalen Waddle. They still have Mike McDaniel setting up this entire offense. They are looking to add more pieces. They added Jonnu Smith as a tight end who can make catches in the red zone. So they have that option going for them. They re-signed Raheem Mostert, so he's at an extension, try to lower his cap hit a little bit so they have more flexibility. Devon Achon's going to be in the offense for a second year. There's all sorts of possibilities on this offense. Teron Armstead is coming back. They re-signed Kendall Lamb, who, by the way, announced that this is going to be his last season in the NFL. He's just about done at this point, year 10. That's perfectly fine. Miami has some young bucks waiting in the background to take an opportunity. But that being said, the biggest takeaway at this point is Buffalo is probably now at its weakest that it's been in many, many years. We thought last year they were weak. This year, they are even weaker. Without Stefon Diggs, Josh Allen is missing out on his number one weapon. That is going to hurt him. And so if Miami does not win the AFC East this year, it's going to be seen as a disappointment. I'm not going to suddenly start calling for heads to roll. I'm not going to say that Tua needs to be replaced. I'm not going to say that Mike McDaniel needs to be fired. I'm not all about that. I've seen enough from both of them to say that I am satisfied with where they are, and given time, they will get the Dolphins to where they need to be. But that doesn't mean that it's not going to be a disappointment if, for whatever reason, the Miami Dolphins don't win the AFC East this year. Again, their most dangerous threat is the New York Jets. The Jets do have a lot of talent, and with Aaron Rodgers, things can turn around in an instant. Zach Wilson, do not underestimate how bad Zach Wilson as a quarterback is. It's just not a good thing for them. And with all due respect to the running backs over there, they can't run the offense all on their own. So Robert Saleh, he's on the hot seat big time. We will see what happens with him. But if the Dolphins don't win the AFC East this year, it's going to be a disappointment. That doesn't mean that it should be a walk in the park for them. Buffalo's always going to play you tough. The Jets with Aaron Rodgers are not going to be a cakewalk. And we'll see what the Patriots do with their quarterback situation. More than likely, they are going to take a quarterback because they just dumped Mac Jones off to the Jacksonville Jaguars, so they need something there. But The AFC East right now is more wide open than it has ever been. And so the Miami Dolphins need to come away with a victory, an AFC division title, at the very least this season, one way or another. That's going to be it for this one. Make sure that you're checking out the 5 Reasons Sports Network for more, and we'll see you all next time for another Take 5.